don't believe me, just watch.
We're back on the Morning Brew, and this is one of we've known each other for a little while, but you're, I think, one of the most unlikely guests in Albuquerque, one of the most unlikely people in Albuquerque.
Right.
So this is Louis Lafredo, and he owns Pro Hockey News magazine, and it is one of the go-to hockey news sites in the world, and he runs the whole thing out of Albuquerque, where. When was the last time we had a pro team or a semi-pro team here?
It would have been around 2008 is when the New Mexico Scorpions left.
Yeah.
They were part of the Central Hockey League at the time.
Right.
They came in 1996.
Right. So we're not a hockey town.
No, unfortunately, we're not from a spectator point of view. But that said, there are a number of leagues for
There's adult
recreational hockey.
leagues, yeah.
There's adult leagues. In fact, I played for 16 years.
Oh, what position? Enforcer?
Defense.
Please tell me enforcer.
Yes. Defense. It's the same thing. Defense and enforcer, it's all the same. Up at the Outpost Ice Arena.
Of course, yeah.
So I played up there for 16 years and stopped in 2012.
Very cool. So how did you start this, and how did it become so large? Because you now have 250 guys and gals all over the world writing hockey news for you.
I started writing in '96 when the Scorpions came in. For a magazine, an online magazine that went out of business, and then started this 14 years ago, ProHockeyNews.com, and we started off very small, just covering a few teams, and now we are quite literally a worldwide publication. We have more than 250 people working for us. We have editorial offices in London, Melbourne, Australia,
Wait,
Munich, Germany.
Why Melbourne? That seems like an unlikely place for a hockey place to have an office.
Hockey is a...
Is it just an international sport now?
It is, in fact, an international sport, but in some countries it's a niche sport. So the Australians have their rugby and cricket. But when it comes to hockey, they have a core audience. And we have staff in Melbourne, based out of Melbourne, that do some editing for us and some great photography. But one of the strongest readership bases that we have is really out of the United Kingdom.
Oh.
The fans there are as rabid for their professional hockey as they are for their soccer.
Oh, wow.
It is staggering just how big it is in the UK.
That's super cool. So is this your full-time job?
No.
You're able to do? No, this is something that you can only do this on the side.
This is just a side. As you know, revenue in journalism is a difficult
And especially online media always is a challenge.
Right, and so much of the news is free, and we struggle, but we have a steady stream of income from advertising on the site.
That's cool.
And so that has been a plus for us. I wish I could do it full time. We just had 3 of our staff up in Minneapolis for the outdoor game, and I would have loved to have gone, but I'm saving my money for the Stanley Cup.
Oh, of course. Have you gone to watch some of the playoff games before?
The last 8 Stanley Cups we've been to.
Oh, very cool. As
working media.
As working media. That's huge.
Yeah.
What is that like? You know, I've never been to a giant sporting event like that. I've always wanted to do the World Series, the Super Bowl, Stanley Cup, something like that.
I'll tell you that the best Stanley Cup that we've been to so far was in Los Angeles a few years ago. The combination of the Kings, the National Hockey League, and obviously just Los Angeles at the Staples Center there in LA.
I can't imagine the crush of people and parties.
It was spectacular, and it's why we do this.
Right.
It's why we do it, because we can get to these special events, the Stadium Series, the AllStar Games, Winter Classics.
So though it's unlikely for you to be doing this in Albuquerque, what can Albuquerque bring to you, and what could Albuquerque do to help you get this thing really going?
You know, it's about awareness. Your first guest, Marshall, here today, he's talking about this social media
Mixonium,
Mixonium. There are things like that. It's about pushing. It's about branding, getting the name out there, and we do have quite a few people who follow us still, despite the fact that we don't have an organized hockey team locally, except the University of New Mexico has a club team.
Everyone always forgets that there is a good team at UNM.
There is a team here at UNM. It's still classified as a club team, but they play in the American Collegiate Hockey Association. And they play local club teams. In fact, I think their final home game of the season was against Air Force.
That's cool.
Yeah.
We need to bring you on like as our hockey correspondent.
Absolutely.
For the Morning Brew.
Absolutely.
That'd be awesome. All right, we got to be back in a couple of seconds. You see all these people back here?
Yeah.
Don't they look like cheerleaders? That's awesome. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. The Morning Brew with friends.